What's going on, everybody? It's Mr. Diamond, and as you can see by the layout and the fact that it's just me, we're going to be doing a demonstration. I wanted to show you guys this who are all stuck at home. This is going to be a video over a combustion reaction. We should have already watched the notes video over it, but just as a brief review while I'm getting this stuff set up, a combustion reaction is a reaction that involves oxygen and then some type of hydrocarbon, or a compound made out of carbon, hydrogen, and then sometimes oxygen. In this case, it is going to have oxygen. We're going to be looking at ethyl alcohol. Now, ethyl alcohol is flammable. This is definitely do not try this at home. So I've got some matches that I'm going to use for this. I have some tongs that I'm going to get out of my little holder right here. I got some tongs. These are actually not going to work. Let me get some better tongs. I have a better pair over here. A much better tongs. And then I have this big glass jug that I believe says that you're not supposed to own. It comes from some water supply company, so just don't tell anyone and I won't tell anyone. And then we've got, I'll move it up here so you can see a little better. We have ethyl alcohol, and if we look at the chemical formula right there, you'll see it's CH5OH, CH5OH, C2H5OH. There we go. So this is ethyl alcohol, which is flammable. And I'm going to take, and I'm going to pour ethyl alcohol into just a tiny bit. I'm going to pour it into my big container, and I'm going to move this over to a different table. And I'll bring this up close so you can see exactly how much we got in there. We have a very small amount, and I'm going to shake it around, get my cardio in here a little bit. Now, the part of alcohol that's actually flammable is not the alcohol itself. The part of the alcohol that's flammable is the fumes. The fumes of the alcohol are what are going to ignite whenever you burn something. So I'm coating the inside with a thin layer of the liquid, and the goal here is that way, whenever we use those matches I mentioned earlier, we will have dissolved, or we will have coated this inside with that liquid layer, and it's going to evaporate very, very quickly, filling the inside with alcohol fumes. So I'm going to make sure this is as centered as I possibly can. Sorry I can't get the camera much closer, both for safety and for cable reasons. But we're going to take, this now has some amount of carbons, hydrogens, and oxygens inside. I'm going to go ahead and strike a match. And we're going to get ready. We're going to drop this inside of our container. We're going to drop down in 3, 2, 1. So, as you can see, we have a pretty intense reaction there. The jug is a little bit warm now. We just burned off some of the alcohol that's inside. Now, the most common question, I hope that didn't burst your speakers or anything. I could tell it spiked pretty high. It's very loud. Now, the question that usually comes up is, can we do it again? And first of all, I'm going to show you, we actually still have not even the same amount, it's almost more liquid that's inside, and that's because we formed water. We made water as a result of that reaction. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to dump out this water. We're going to get rid of it. There is a little bit of alcohol that's a liquid in there as well, but there was also some water mixed in with that. So I'm going to flip this back upright, and usually the question that gets asked is, can we do this again? So we'll go along with it. We'll go ahead and put in some more alcohol. Put in a little bit there. I'll go up. I showed you I dumped it out. I'll show you we've got a little bit of alcohol in there again. Not that much. We'll do the same process. Try to coat that inside. Make sure we got our fresh alcohol. Get some more alcohol vapors all around there. Get my cardio in. It's a good arm workout. Okay. So now we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to wipe off my hands so I don't get alcohol too close to the flames. It's a good way for this to be a video of Mr. Diamond losing a hand. And we're going to go ahead and strike a match. And we're going to go ahead and you'll notice it doesn't appear to be doing anything, but if I very carefully move this closer, you may be able to see that there's actually a flame dancing at the top of it. So what the heck is up with that? Why didn't it do it a second time? Well, those of you that may have been a little bit more astute for the rest of the reaction, carbons, hydrogens, and oxygens, plus oxygen is required, makes carbon or makes water, and then carbon dioxide. So this thing, when we did that reaction, actually filled up with carbon dioxide. And because it filled up with carbon dioxide, all of the oxygen got burnt up. If you go back and you try to slow down that video, you'll see that the flame started up here and then worked its way down, burning up the oxygen as it went. So it's actually out of oxygen right now, meaning that it can't really do a reaction. There wasn't anything for it to burn. The only place that was able to refill its oxygen fast enough to do any kind of reaction at all was this little top piece right here, because all the oxygen is flowing over. In fact, sometimes if I can actually make the flame get a little bit more intense. I don't know if you guys can see that, but let me move it a little closer. So not super clear, but sometimes you can get it to bounce a little bit higher if you blow a little bit of oxygen in there. Now if I tilt it to the side, we can also sometimes get more oxygen flowing in there. I'm try to. Nope, not this time. So I'm going to go ahead and safety first. We're going to place a piece of a ceramic plate over here. Or I mean ceramic, you'll see the piece of glass this time. So I'm just going to set this on the top there. That's going to smother all of the oxygen that is in the top up there. So we can remove it. And we no longer have any fire bouncing around up there. We have killed the fire in there. So that kind of proves both that we've got a combustion reaction going, and it also shows you the carbon dioxide and the water getting made, because we ended up with more liquid at the bottom, and also we couldn't do it a second time because the thing was filled with carbon dioxide. So what I actually have to do in order to do this multiple times is I'm going to have to take this, and I have to tilt it. I'm actually going to have to set it like that, because I have to pour out the carbon dioxide, because that carbon dioxide is more dense than our atmosphere, than the nitrogen and the stuff that's around us. So as it pours out, the atmosphere will slowly kind of creep in and refill it back up. It takes a good chunk of time before you're able to redo it. So thankfully, since this is on the Wednesday, you guys don't have to wait and don't have to hope that it's going to not work whenever I do it for one of my later classes. So that's what I got for this example video. There's going to be some other videos with the lab that we're going to do next week that I'll have you watch, and I'll just carry out all the steps of it so you can see it. If you have any questions, please shoot me an email. Hope you enjoyed this demonstration. This is Mr. Diamond signing off. Have a great rest of your day, everybody.